In this video, I want to give you 3 strategies to grow your property business after lockdown. So let's get straight into this. Strategy number 1. Well, the first thing you need to do is sort out your personal brand. So what do I mean by that? Well, one of the most important things that you need to do, and this is a conversation that I have with mentees that come into the academy, when they first get started, get your personal brand sorted out, because this is very foundational for the next 2 strategies I'm going to teach you. So what do I mean by personal brand? Well, the first thing you've got to do is you've got to look professional online. In today's society, the way that we live, like people don't give out business cards anymore. Your online presence is your digital business card. So what you've got to think about is that you need to make sure that your online profile, if you've got a website, Facebook page, LinkedIn profile, all that stuff there is congruent and aligned with what you say you are doing. Now, look, I used to run an estate agency. I used to have a spate of people coming in the next day after Property Ladder was on, telling me they were property developers. Clearly they weren't, and they're amateurs, okay? Now, look, I'm going to tell you why this is really important in a minute. I'm going to give you a little story of something that happened to me. Now, one of the things you got to make sure is if you are, whether you're new to property, if you just get into property, or if you've been doing property for a while, and even if you are an experienced property professional, you need to make sure that your personal brand or your business brand is on point. So let's go through that in a little bit more detail and look at what that entails, okay? The first thing, you're going to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is polished, it says what you do, and there's nothing that's incongruent, okay? So what do I mean by that? If you're telling people that you're a property investor or a property developer, but your LinkedIn profile says something different, that's going to start to arouse suspicion in people's minds, okay? People don't like inconsistencies, right? If you've got another job or you've got another business, that's okay. But people are like, well, what do? You're a property developer, or do you work for this company, or have you got another business? What's the deal? You're better off just sticking with one thing if you can and just be known for one thing. So you need to make sure your LinkedIn profile is on point. You need to make sure that your social media, whatever you got on social media, it ties up with your professional brand, okay? So don't have pictures of your drunken benders or your stag do's or whatever else. Have a personal profile for your personal stuff, but have a professional profile for anything business related, okay? Remember, you've got something like 7 seconds to make an impression on someone, okay? People will judge you in that time. So you need to make sure that everything looks squeaky clean, professional, and presentable. Why do we want to do this, okay? Why are we going through the trouble of making sure our personal brand or our business brand is on point? Well, look, for anyone to do business with you, for anyone to kind of take you seriously, they need to get to know you, like you, and trust you. So it's really important that we make sure that you've got your personal and business brand sorted out. So we spoke about LinkedIn, we spoke about your social media. The other thing is, if you have a business website or a property website, you need to make sure that that is on point. So what does that mean? Don't use a mobile number on your website. It looks a bit amateurish, okay? Go and get a landline number. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go and get a physical telephone number put into your house or your office. You can go and use things like VoIP. It's called Voice over Internet Protocol. Skype numbers. The company that I use is called Gradwell. You can also use companies like All Day PA, which are call answering services that will give you a number as well. Make sure that you have a professional landline number on your website, okay? It looks bona fide. The second thing is you want to make sure you have an address on your website so people can find you. If you don't want to use your home address, go and use a business address, go and get an office suite that you can register or whatever. Just go and find somewhere, because the key thing is this: if people are going to do business with you, and I'm going to get into the 2 strategies afterwards, this is all going to make sense. They need to know they can find you. They need to know that you're not going to do a runner in the middle of the night, okay? So you need to make sure that everything is on point. If you don't do these things, you end up vandalizing your brand. You are your personal brand, okay? So you need to make sure everything looks squeaky, everything looks clean, everything looks congruent and consistent all across the brand, okay? Also, if you do have a personal website, a property website, or a personal brand website, get it listed on Google My Business, okay? Get it listed on Yale.com. Get it listed on any of the directories that are out there, because what will happen is if someone does a search name for your company or for your personal name, it will come up on the search engine listings, okay? You want to be as transparent, as visible as possible online, and you want to make sure that everything you've got online looks squeaky clean, looks consistent, looks congruent, okay, and is aligned, okay? You just don't want any kind of inconsistencies, because that will stop people from building trust with you, okay? So that's the first thing you need to do, and this is something I teach my students, my mentees, when they come into the academy. The first thing you need to do is get your personal brand sorted out. Make sure everything online is squeaky clean, okay? Now, there's a reason for this, and we're going to move into the second strategy strategy, and it all makes sense as we go forwards into the second and third strategy, okay? The next tip that you need to do, right, the next strategy you're going to need to employ is to get really good at finding deals online, okay? Now, look, there's two ways you can do this, okay? You can find deals online going through estate agents, or you can find deals online going through portals like Gumtree or eBay. And then, of course, I'm a huge fan of direct-to-vendor marketing. So let's talk about this, okay? I'm also going to share 3 apps with you that I think you should look at in order for you to be able to find motivated sellers. So if you're going to go and deal with an estate agent, as I mentioned before, when I used to run my estate agency, the night we had Property Ladder on, you used to get an influx of people coming in the next day saying, I'm a property investor or I'm a property developer. And it was clear that they weren't, okay? They just didn't understand. They didn't talk the talk. They didn't look the part, okay? And as an estate agent, the thing that you want to know is, can this person do the deal? Are they going to be a time waster? Are they going to be a messer? Or can they put their money where their mouth is? So quite often, if you're going to send out an email or you're going to contact an estate agent, they're going to make a judgment around you depending on what kind of information you give them. So if you contact an agent and say, hey, it's John here, here's my mobile number, and here's my email number, it's john@gmail.com. Okay, they'll probably wear it, but you know what? It'd be way better if you had john@johnsproperty.com and here's my office number and here's my LinkedIn profile, here's all my other stuff, okay? Because what you need to do is prove to that agent that you walk the talk, okay? You have to separate yourself out from all the tire kickers that are out there. Let me tell you another story, okay? I remember myself and my business partner went to go and buy a pub, and it came directly from a large commercial agent that just deal with pub disposals for all the large breweries. So I was on the phone to this broker. This broker was an aggressive guy. He was like the Wolf of Wall Street. He wanted to know who I was, what my experience was, how I was going to fund the deal before he'd even entertained sending me any information. It was great. So I told him who I was, told him what I did, told him my level of experience, told him that I mentor people. And I said to him, look, you can go and find me online. Here's my website details. Here's my LinkedIn profile. Here's all my other stuff that you can go and find. And he was like, okay, fine. And we were chatting away. And whilst I was chatting to him on the phone, I got a notification on my LinkedIn app that he wanted to connect with me. So he'd actually gone online and checked me out and verified I could walk the talk, basically, okay? And from that point onwards, once he knew I could do the deal, he was quite serious and happy, and his whole voice tone relaxed. He relaxed because he'd qualified me, and he knew that I could do the deal. This is the same thing that's going to happen, okay? So you need to make sure, again, this is why you need to have all your personal branding on point, okay? So this is estate agents. Same thing if you want to go on Gumtree. Now, I recently shot a YouTube video on how to find deals online, and I spoke about Gumtree. And I remember thinking, you know what, I haven't been on Gumtree for a while, so let me go and message some people and have a look at some deals. So I went on Gumtree, I found a couple of deals, and I thought, okay, this is really interesting. So I messaged people, I messaged a person in particular, and this person came back to me, and they were very resistant at first. And I was like, this is really interesting, Hey, look, I'm only interested in selling the property. I don't want to do any deals. I don't want to do this, don't want to do that. And they were kind of cold and shunning me off. And I just thought, okay, this person's had lots of tire kickers and time wasters mess them around. I sent a message back saying, look, I appreciate, on Gumtree, you may have had a lot of interest. You might have had some messes and some time wasters. I'm a professional developer. Please see my website, put my website link in. Here is my LinkedIn profile. And here is, my mentoring coaching website. You can see that I'm a professional. You can see I do this for a living, and you can see that I teach other people. If you're happy to talk to me, please let me know. I sent that message, and the whole tone of the conversation changed. The lady became very warm and responsive. She asked me if I had WhatsApp. We went to WhatsApp, and she sent me all the information I needed there. She sent me pictures. She sent me the drawings. She sent me the plans, and everything else was super, super helpful, okay? Why? Because she got to know me. She got to like me. She got to trust me, and I could prove that I could walk the talk. Make sense, guys? Hopefully you find that useful, okay? So this is going to be really important. If you're going to deal with people and don't know who you are, that's super important. So I spoke about estate agents. I spoke about the commercial agent. I spoke about going on Gumtree. You will find deals on places like eBay as well, right? Anywhere where you're going to go and find deals, people are not going to know who you are. So you need to qualify yourself, and you need to make sure you look professional, okay? The other thing is this, and this is really important. When you get into start doing things like direct-to-vendor deals, these people will not have a clue who you are. Okay. And trust is a huge thing. People will find more reasons not to trust you than what they will to trust you. It's just the way the mind works. People will be looking for the things at a subconscious level as to why not to trust you. Okay. So if you meet a vendor and you go direct to a vendor, okay, number one, you've got to have the right kind of people skills. You've got to have the right kind of negotiation skills. You've got to have the right kind of rapport skills so you can build that relationship with them. And they get to know you, like you, and trust you when they see you. But equally, you've got to fill them up with confidence. So if they can go online, and they will do this, they will go online and search for you and see who you are. Even if you don't tell them to, they will go and do it. Okay. When they go and do it and they can find you on Company's House, they can find you on LinkedIn, they can find you on Google My Business, they can find you on Yale.com, or, the various directories and everything else. When they can see that you're completely transparent and you're visible and you're available online, it's going to build more trust, especially if you're going to do anything creative. So if you want to get involved with doing things like lease options with people, or exchange with delay completion, or anything creative, they have to get to know you, like you, and really trust you to do business. Okay. If they go online and they find that you're not really, you're not out there, or you've got, something on your profile or something on your online digital business card that says you do other things as well, they'll be like, well, what do you do? Are you a property investor, or are you like a jack of all trades, or are you shifty, or whatever? You've got to make sure that you can satisfy that criteria and any objections that people will have. Okay. So on that note, I want to give you a couple of other tips. Okay. So there's 3 things I'm going to suggest that you get in order to help you find some of those deals. Okay. So number 1, let's just go over to the desktop. Let me see if I can get this up for you. Okay, so number 1, here's a feature that people don't always take advantage of when it comes to searching for deals on Zoopla and Rightmove. Okay, so people say to me, how do I find these BMV deals? So if you go to Zoopla, okay, if you look at the search box here, one thing that you will see is there's a tab that says most reduced. Okay, so the thing that's going to be important is that you look at stuff that is most reduced. The bigger the reduction, the more motivated the seller really is, okay? So that's one thing that you can do, okay? The next thing you can do is there's another bit of software that you can get called Property Tracker. This is really useful to see what prices have been and what prices have been reduced. And there's another piece of software called Patma. Now, this is really good because what it will do is it's a plugin that you can put into Chrome, and it will allow you to see the reductions in prices on various properties as you search on the portals. Now, this information isn't normally available to the public, so it's a really cool thing that you can use, okay? This is the simplest way to start, okay? Get yourself some property tracking software, some plugins that you can use when you're going on Zoopla and Rightmove. It's just going to help you to see what's been reduced and what's gone on, so you can see, and you're searching for those deals, okay? Most people, when they're looking for deals, they look at the deal itself. That's only part of the equation. You're looking for motivation. Motivated sellers are the way forwards, okay? So that's what you're looking for. So look, that's what you need to do. Strategies to grow. That's the second strategy to grow your business outside of lockdown. And here's the third thing that you're going to need to do. And again, this all stems back to the first strategy of making sure your personal brand is on point, okay? You need to be finding private investors. Now, I've got a couple of my mentees at the moment that are really smashing it with this. They've just, one of them more has just got a vendor that's an investor that's coming with 100K, got that across the line, now lined up another one with 100K. I've also had conversations in the last sort of 10 days or so with 3 people that have got to the tune of about 2.8 million pounds. Now, look, here's the thing that's going to happen, okay? As we go forwards into this kind of coming out of lockdown and getting back to some kind of normality, okay, people are aware that the recession is in full swing, okay? We're in this pandemic still. We've got the fallout of what's happened over the last 12 months. You know, the government and is like 365 billion pounds in debt. It's not a pretty picture. So you've got people out there that are looking for additional ways of utilizing their money. There's a lot of people who've got money in the bank that don't know what to do with it, that don't have the skill, the knowledge, perhaps the appetite for risk to go and do property deals, okay? And they want to do something with their money. They're looking at some way of making their money work for them. So it's a problem for those people, but it's an advantage for you. So you need to make sure that you can be out looking for those kinds of people that have got money to invest. So the first thing you do is tap up your friends and family. Hey, look, I'm getting involved in property. Do you know anyone who might be interested in working with me or investing with me to get a slice of the pie or a return on interest, okay? And all you need to do is start getting 2 or 3 investors involved with you Okay. And that's enough to start building some serious momentum into your business. Okay. Again, what's going to get people to lend to you? Like, one of the big objections people say is, well, who's going to lend to me? I haven't got a track record. I haven't done enough deals, blah, 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 blah. Well, let me tell you, these are all excuses. They're all big fat BS excuses. They're also limiting beliefs. When I started out, I didn't have a track record. My first investor lent me $6,000. That got me started on a lease option deal. The second investor lent me 50. Third investor was 100. Then it went up all the way up to £5 million. Okay. So I know what I'm talking about here. I've done it. I've seen it. And I teach my mentees how to do this. You've got to get into the right mindset and see that you're not going there with your cap in hand begging for money. You're not asking for money. You're actually serving those people, because there's a lot of people right now who've got money in the bank that don't know what to do with it, don't really know how to invest, that haven't got the first clue of investing in property. Remember, for some people, investing in property is a really scary thing. I had a conversation with an old family friend recently. He's got some money that he inherited. And I said to him, look, why don't you go and fix up a property? And he said, the thought of doing that and dealing with builders scares the crap out of me, because it could go wrong, and, builders, the cost could go over and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of people that just don't have the confidence to go out and do property deals, but you have. That's why you're here, okay? So you can serve those people by utilizing their funds. They're going to leverage you. In fact, they're going to get an interest rate, or they're going to get some kind of slice of the pie that they wouldn't get if it wasn't for you. And you're going to be able to utilize their funds to do deals. One of the things that happens is when you have an investor come and work with you, okay, they put their money into the deal, you do the deal, you pay them back. At the end of the deal, what they tend to do is go, well, that was great. Do you want to do it again? And they ask you to take the money back in, and then you recycle the money back into a deal. So you don't need that many investors. If you've got 2 or 3 investors and you keep cycling their cash, you can keep using their money to do a deal, okay? That's the simplicity of this. Again, how are you going to get these people to trust you? Well, you need to show them who you are, what you do. You need to make sure your personal brand is on point. And as you've started to get some traction with deals, you need to log those deals, make case studies of it, get testimonials from other people who've lent you money down the line. And that's going to help to the credibility. It's going to help people to get to know you, like you, trust you, and invest with you. So guys, those are my 3 tips, okay? Those 3 strategies for growing your business post-lockdown. This is stuff I do myself in my own business. This is what I teach my mentees to do. And if you put this into practice, you're really going to skyrocket your results post-lockdown. So if you've got any comments, if you like this video, put your comments in the comment section. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye for now.